Hello, this is your crypto day morning. It's the 24th day of August 2018. My name is Derek. Like always, all bets, all trades, and of the like within your own risk, own reward. For myself, risk reward management. Always job number one. So within the daily chart for Bitcoin, 2+ weeks of it mainly going sideways. Major resistance in at about 65.40 area, and that's where the current price action is in at this time frame. We'll see it on the short term, but this little line in here worked out to be that of a failed breakout. Oftentimes, from failed moves comes fast moves in the opposite direction. Not this time. For the situation had, like, all this resistance here is just crazy. It literally is. And there's the failed breakout. Price action. This goes just a little sideways move. Then quickly down, not supporting where it's supposed to if it's going to be a successful breakout, which is where it came from. And then quickly goes back into its previous congestion area, which is so obvious in this point here. So back to its area. Okay, so now the next step is leaving key support, which would have been somewhere around this line here, and then a leg lower. Well, that's not happening. Rather, what's been going on lately? Well, now, after having some time amongst the 18 average of lows, and this is a 3-hour time frame, it had this green candle. How is it digesting the gain? Well, it's been correcting it for now what is the 5th period, almost halfway through the current one, with 1 hour and 48 minutes to play in the 3-hour time frame. 5 periods, just sticking around the 18 average of highs. It's also sticking around that key neckline resistance level. So it's still in that, okay, wait and see kind of mode. And when it's going to resolve itself, it's going to have decent moves, for it can only resolve itself either to the upside or the downside. And using the 400 minute, if it resolves itself to the upside, we're going to be talking about filling and retracing this move from the previous high of 8,400. So filling some of this empty space, coming up to 7,000. That would be the minimum of a leg higher you'd be looking to go towards. And then after that, who knows how much more it's able to retrace. And if it can get a full retracement, thus get back to this highs, then we can start to talk about more of a long term and a correctionary move on its bear market. And that's where we'd be looking on if it ends up correcting the sideways range to the downside. We'll use the 3-day chart, and explicit or a large amount of support at 6,000. Every single time Bitcoin's been in the low 6,000s. And you got all these really bearish setups, 18 average, which was showing it a little bit in April, start of April this year, showing it even more heavy at the end of June. And even for the last little while, as we can see, it has been resisting and staying amongst this 18 average of lows. So a lot of reason there to say, oh my goodness, this thing almost looks like it's just waiting to happen. But that's always what it's been, is just waiting for that to take place. For myself, I've been, I'm going to go to some Binance pairings, but I got into Dent recently, a few days ago. And it's been curving a little bit higher, so I'm going to use a shorter term time frame. I got in at 29, which would have been in here, and it's now up a little bit. So I've sold 25, a little more, barely more than 25% of what I've purchased, because the price has been higher. If it comes back down into the mid-30s, I'll start buying it back. And obviously, if we can fill some more of this empty space, I got sell orders are ready to go. And the pairing against the Binance coin, and I mean, the results would come in Bitcoin as well, or Ethereum, but some of the coins that have helped me increase my BNB holdings. And the first one will be Theta, and we'll use a 400 minute time frame, I suppose. But here was a price down at 680. Now it's at 1,000. Nano has been spectacular. This was all the way down to, well, we'll say the 1,000 handle. Now it's at the 24 handle. It's been going down for quite some time, but bottom line is you buy when it goes down and you sell when it goes up. So everything within this last leg lower from the July mid-July high, well, you've been able to get some sales back. At least that's what I've been able to do. Cyber miles was down to about 700. Now it's up. It's gotten to 1,200, down to 1058. So that's been the buying at those bottom area. Just a couple sell orders have came into play. That's nice to see. LSK. This was down to 24 basis points. So it's doubled. But it's still down so much from where it was. And I'm not saying that the market like this is going to start its next big move to the upside, but the empty space it can hit. It wouldn't surprise me to see it go and retrace some, hit the 82, maybe fool around with 120, and so on and so forth. And as far as the situation in here, you've been in a bear market where you had these okay, try to get the drawing tool. We just got it now. So this high, so you make this leg lower, barely make a high at all, this low, and you've gotten above the high that you barely made much of a high at. But what it tells me is from point high to point low, turn is over, the bulls are in control. So from that same point low, it has currently got it barely to its previous high. So market sentiment tells me that they have at least done just as good. So if the defense can come into play, which means hold this area, retrace whenever it's ready to correct successfully, then that make a higher low type of pattern like this, then you can maybe fill a lot of those empty gaps. And in a correctionary move, you can even look at some of this and say, okay, so there's mode from point low to this current point high, because it went straight up continuously. Not much. We'll take a look at shorter term charts just to look at more at this topic. But you go from this low to this high, back down, and then all of this little bit of stuff here is pretty much correctionary moves. So then let's do such and take a look at this, say, on a 3 hour, and that's exactly what you see, where you have point low, point high. So here is your sideways correction, as markets can correct either through that of price or through time. And this, of course, was the price and time correction. It's after breaking out past this resistance, and it's just started to do such. To me, it looks like it could very easily continue a little bit higher and have a higher high from this previous high to be higher than where it currently is now. But of course, the market's going to do what it's going to do. And what I'm going to do now is end this video at a little over 9 minutes. So thank you for tuning in. And remember, defense. Well, that wins in football games, and it can win in hockey games. And, well, quite frankly, any type of defensive strategies as a trader you can employ that could be successful, well, don't be surprised that that can help out as well, too. Thank you for tuning in, and have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.